All right, guys, we are live. Hey, it's Rick Ginn, and it's back with another Monday night. So those of you who don't know me, my name is Rick Ginn. I have actually been wholesaling for, I'm going on 21 years, and I absolutely love what I do. You guys probably know my son, Zachary Ginn. And if you want to check out that story, go over to Flip with Rick. Everything's on there tonight. We do these separate channels so we can give you guys more access to myself and Zach. You guys really enjoy the one-on-ones. So here's what we do. We simply use this time. I'll go as long as I got questions. So I don't make any qualms about it. Use the comment section to let me know what market you're from, what's going on. And obviously, if you have any questions relating to wholesaling, honestly, anything real estate, I can open it up a little bit more on Monday night. I do this so you guys can kind of get to know me a little bit better. I get to know you guys a little bit better, and it's a huge win-win. And for those of you that try to get on live on Thursday and Friday and you can't, this is the perfect stream for you because it's not as busy. So I can't guarantee it's always going to be this wide open. So take advantage of it. Have fun with it. If you guys want to go live, there is in the comment section at the top pegged under my name, Rick, and there is a link. You can just click that and you can go live. So you don't have to show your face. There's no dumb question, only questions like you don't ask. So if you have never heard of what the heck is this guy talking about? What's going on? Me and my son created with our 25 years experience, the only free wholesaling course out there. It's called freewholesaling.com. You go there, you give us your email address, and you get access to the most robust, the most in-depth wholesaling course. And the really cool part is I'm tired of every guru guys trying to charge you guys for everything. Me and Zach just give it to you in hopes that you will spread the word. You will do your first deal, get you to your first 100 grand. And somewhere down the road, you can do a deal with me and Zach. So I do it with people all the time on here. I really love what I do. And by giving away at freewholesaling.com, am I trying to put every guru out of business? No, I'm just trying to get them to change their mindset that it's not 2003 anymore. And selling courses is like a 20-year-old game. And if you're going to keep doing that same old business model, then go get a chalkboard, go to your local public schools, because that's about where you guys are in the guru. So if you guys want to follow that, hop on. I don't subscribe to that theory. I believe in today's world, the way we can connect with the internet and all these great services that connects us today, that you guys can be wildly successful in wholesaling. I don't know why people want to tell you you have to pay all this ridiculous money to be successful. It's absolutely ridiculous. So you guys, I take everybody in order they come on to the live. So hop on there. And if you have a question, just put it in there. So today we're talking all about 10 rules of wholesaling in a recession. And honestly, I feel like I got a PhD in this one. So if you guys don't know, I went through probably the most tumultuous market cycle from 08 to 2010. Maybe some people say 2011. I mean, real estate was a nightmare. And I'm seeing a lot of the same stuff going on. So what better way to segment than to teach you guys the 10 lessons I learned from that economy and that are going to apply to this one. And if you have the wherewithal and the patience to get into wholesaling, because remember, you can never time getting into wholesaling. It's never going to happen. It's like trying to time yourself getting into the stock market. Wholesaling is about getting started because the true essence, it's not like the stock market because you're really minimizing your risk if you do it correctly. Those who don't minimize their risk, they're called speculators, and I do not teach speculation. And there's a lot of gurus out there that are disguising speculation in wholesaling courses, and obviously they're all going belly up right now because you guys are getting smart and stop buying this crap. So stop buying wholesaling courses. Me and Zach give it to you all for free here. Go to freewholesaling.com and let's get into it. So I'm going to run you through the 10 rules that you must understand why wholesaling in a recession. And honestly, as I said, I feel like I got my PhD. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my screen here and we'll hop on. And then as you guys have questions, if you want to put them in there, it's great. Listen, do me a favor. If you like what you see, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. And for God's sake, somebody smash that like button. Otherwise, I got to get off this live. So I know it's a Monday night. I know you got a million other things you want to do. But honestly, there's no better time to learn how to wholesale during a recession. And let's get it started. So let me switch over here. So you guys should be able to see my screens here. Awesome. Cool. So guys, it's really cool because I don't have a giant crowd in here, and this is a perfect time to get started in wholesaling. So let me jump in. We're going to go through the 10 rules. So guys, I'll probably take 20, 30 minutes, just go through this. And then I dedicate the whole last half of it just doing Q&A. So if you have questions while you put it up there, put it on there. Now, here's a really cool part. These 10 things, they are in a random order on purpose because honestly, not one's more important than the other. But so let's start with number one. Okay, ARVs. Okay, and for those of you who knew that, it stands for after repaired value. After repaired value, and you guys in a recession, you have to find the most conservative ARVs. For the last 4 or 5 years, you guys have been doing the exact opposite. You've been paying realtor, and God bless you for that because you could get away with it. But the reality is you playing realtor in a recession, wholesaling will get you killed, okay? All comps are based on a range. So most comps are within maximum 10%. So if you have a comp here, the low would be 200, the high would be 220. Rick, what's the ARV? And the last 4 or 5 years, wholesalers say the ARV is 239 on that. You guys know it's true because that's what's going on. So the reality is 200 to 220. Your highest comp ARV can only be 200. Okay. And honestly, I'd take a step further. I'd knock another 10 grand off of it, maybe even another 20. And I go down to 185, 190. Okay. If you do not figure out this ARV, that you have to be on the most conservative side, because what's happening in the recession right now, real estate prices are dropping. How much are they dropping? I've already been over this, guys, with you. It's almost 2% per month. Okay. So if a sharp knife is falling, you've got to assume it at its lowest point and where it's going to cut you. So since we're buying today and we're selling tomorrow, we got to get as close of a number as we can. We can't tell the seller, I got to discount it because in 6 months later, it's going to be worth a lot less. That doesn't always work. But if you have a comp range, you've got to pick the lower side. For the last 5 years, you guys all have been picking the high side. And I'm telling you, it's going to blow up on you. So please, your ARVs, use the most conservative numbers and hope to be pleasantly surprised. But a lot of you guys have been doing it the other way, and I can tell you how that one works out. Okay. This one I like. Okay, you ready? Old school works. Okay, why did I say that? Because number one, I'm an old school guy. Okay, I learned back in 2003 how to do this business. Okay, I learned a lot of bad stuff, a lot of good stuff, and I've learned all in between. What do I mean by old school stuff? I'll show you. Okay, cold calling, direct mail, government lists, which have been around forever, and driving $4. Do you notice a trend with all this stuff I put here? These are all old school tactics that have worked since the turn of time. Okay. By the way, cold calling has been around since the 60s, maybe even the 50s, ever since they invented the home phone. Okay. It's got a little bit wilder with technology, but cold calling, direct mail, government lists, and driving for dollars. What do they all have in common? Number one, they've been around forever. Number two, they're all legal. Nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can go, oh, you can't do this. Now, I know DNC with cold calling, but I'm telling you guys, these things work. And you are never going to hear about cold calling, direct mail, government lists, and driving for dollars in any guru's program, because they're not super sexy and they don't sell. The reality is they all work. I use every one of these in my business. And if you're not using them today, you are going to get killed in a recession. Okay. You people that got super fancy, I'm all about SMS, but SMS is having issues on delivery with the services. People are getting really cute with like their data and how they're sending it. And I'm telling you guys, you've got to find a way to connect with motivated sellers. Using any old school tactic actually works really well in a recession. Why? Because all the wannabes go away. And number two, this stuff works and it's proven, it's time tested. It's just not super sexy. You can't spin on it. Do you notice everything being sold to you in the guru environment for wholesaling has some sort of like neat name? Novations. You don't want to do novations. Trust me as a newbie. Okay. Novations is not a wholesaling strategy. And in my opinion, novations will be right up there with SMS texting. They're going to eventually force you to where you can never do it again. Okay. So stick to the stuff that works. Old school. I remember the old school movie with Will Ferrell. Old school stuff works because it is there. Okay. And I want you to understand, if you can go get any of the old investing books from any garage sale, or you can go, I think zlibrary.org, you can get most of the stuff 100% for free. Stop paying gurus $5,000 to pretend they know how to cold call, and then they teach you to cold call realtors. You are not going to be successful in wholesaling doing that. So old school ways work. So go back and look at them. By the way, creative financing is going to work in this market. Creative financing before this, I bet a lot of people are going to regret the creative financing they bought over the last 2 to 3 years, because they probably massively overpaid for the properties because they got so attracted to the marketing scheme. So, well, time will tell. Number 3, cash buyers. And it's a little bit more than that. Their expectations. Guess what? Guess what a cash buyer's expectations are right now? It kind of sucks. Like, there's no other word for it. They want deep discounts because they can feel the fear. Okay. So you've got to understand, if you don't understand your cash buyers and you are not in alignment with their expectations, you're not going to buy the properties for the right price. So how do we fix this? That's real simple. Okay. Number 4, spend more time with cash buyers. Okay. There's a cute little wholesaling outfit that sold a lot of courses over the last 5 years that taught you a strategy called "Don't worry about the cash buyer. They are just a dime a dozen. Do not build relationships with them. Don't even look at them." And I told you guys all along, if you do that, it's going to blow up in your face in the long run. So now you actually have to go spend time with cash buyers. How do I do it? Go get a cup of coffee with them, spend more time meeting with them, talking on the phone, meeting them at person, meeting them at auctions, meeting them at real estate events. Whatever you got to do, the more cash buyers you can talk to, the better off you're going to do. Okay. Why? Because that's how you gather more intel and you meet their expectations. You're going to have to bridge this gap. I don't know how long this gap is going to go on, but I believe from now, at least till the end of next year, we are all going to be in this problematic area of cash buyers. The problem is the cash buyers are a lot lighter than they were before, and they're much smarter, and they have a ton of options. So, by the way, Z Library is still on. I get stuff from there all the time, and it's 100% legal. So, I just try to get you guys free services. So, I'm not a lawyer, so like figure it out. If you guys want to pay for stuff, pay for it. But I'm just talking about like books written in the 60s and 70s. I got to be honest with you, there's some of the best well-written investing books you can ever read. The problem with today's stuff, nothing's real. Like most of the stuff you read is mostly fabricated lies, and you don't know who to believe anymore. An ebook, I wouldn't even read an ebook anymore because I have no idea if any of it's, I I have no idea if any of it's true. It just drives me crazy. Okay. So, which leads me to my next one. Relationships. Okay. Relationships go a long way when you got a bad market. Okay. I'm telling you, have you ever been in anything in life when like things are really down? When things are down, you get to find out what people are made of. Okay. You know what I'm talking about. So find the people you want to work with for the remainder of the next 10 to 20 years. This is the time to find out who's really cut out for wholesaling and who's a wannabe. How do I know this? Because they are melting all around me. They're melting in person in my local market, and they're melting all over the internet. Why? Because their message is watered down, it's ridiculous. And if it doesn't pertain to wholesaling, then teaching them how to take deals down in this market, tune these people out, guys. It's a waste of time. Most people on the internet is just a production pep rally to get you to buy something from them. Okay. Me and Zach don't sell you anything. We offer you things that we use in our business and we test out, but I don't sell you a coaching program. So I can be brutally honest with you on this stuff. Okay. Why do you think a lot of the viewership's going down on these things? Because they all learned in an up market from people that taught them the business. And they are told right now, take as much coaching dollars as you humanly get, because it's probably going off the table. It's up to you guys. Either you can learn with me and Zach. I'll bring you along because I actually do wholesaling. Do you know most people teaching wholesaling don't even do 1 ounce of wholesaling in their business as they teach you these courses? And they will openly tell you they make millions of dollars. How do you know this? Just go look at the ClickFunnels little record when they got a record behind them. That's your money they're taking from you. To teach you a basic skill set, guys, it's embarrassing. I would be... But listen, hey, you got to get paid today. I get it. So these guru coaches in wholesaling that teach you this, they tell you don't trade your time for money, but all they do in return, all they do is trade their time for money. So what do they say? Listen to what I say. Don't watch what I do. That's exactly what's going on here. So relationships. Now, relationships go all the way around. We already talked about cash buyers. Okay. One of the best times during this time is other wholesalers. This is the time to forge a connection. So if you're really strong with buying properties, find someone who's really strong in liquidating properties with cash buyers and work together as a synergy. Maybe you guys wind up being partners. I have no idea. But during this market, this is when you get to see what everyone's made of. Once that tide goes out, you're going to see who's wearing what. And I'm telling you, I see it all the time going on right now. If you guys don't see it, but this is the time you can find wholesalers you can actually work with. In the last 5 years, no wholesaler wants to work with you because everyone was just so greedy making money. Okay? Realtors, title companies, attorneys. Everybody on this list is feeling the pinch during this market. And this is a time that you can forge relationships that will pay you for the next 20 years. Do you guys know from 2008 to 2010 is probably how I formed 90% of my long-term relationships in my local markets? Because during down times, people were open to all sorts of ideas. And that's what you guys got to understand. You have got to be able to help people in good times and bad times. But in bad times, people definitely remember it. And they'll help you push forward when times get like really, really good. Okay. Now, I'm moving on to number 6. And this one's so important. I'm going to change my pen color. Okay. You guys have to go for no. And I can't tell you in this current market as a wholesaler, it is more important than ever that you understand this concept. I can't stress this to you enough. Let me just tell you again, okay? If you guys don't go for no, you are going to overpay for your property. So Rick, what is going for no? So if you guys have never heard my broadcast before, it's real simple. A go for no means when you make your first offer to your seller, you want to get it rejected. What, Rick? What the heck are you talking about? Why do you want to get rejected? Because the idea is when you put your first offer out there and you make it such a low number, it gets rejected. When it gets rejected, what happens? They're going to come back to you and counter you and tell you what they can or cannot do. And that's what you want. The more intel you get back from your sellers, the better deal you can get. Okay? I just had a go for no opportunity. What was it? It was yesterday. I did a deal yesterday. Guy started at a ridiculous number. I've met him 2 times before. He finally called me back. We went through it. And I'm going to share all the information because I gave an offer so low, he actually said yes to it. Okay. Now, I was fully expecting him to counter it, but actually said yes. I'm super excited because I don't think I could ever bought something this cheap before. Now, if I was dead set, my number was twice what I thought it was going to be. But by me going for that no, got me another 50% discount on the property. I wound up getting an 87% discount on the asset I was buying. And guys, if I did not use my go for no, I would have got killed. Go for no, guys. Get rejected on your first offer. Build enough rapport where you don't get kicked out, but they counter you. And when they counter you, they usually give you their subconscious answer of what the lowest price they can take. And that is my starting point. End of story, guys. You have to go for no. If you do not get any of the other tips I give it to you, go for no. If you get a yes on your initial offer, you paid too much for the property. Okay? And remember, the cheaper you buy the property, the more options you have and the easier it is for you to sell it to your cash buyers that have really high expectations on what they're going to make for the deal. Okay? Number 7, this is going to be a real common one, motivated sellers. Only if there's no motivation, don't talk to them. You cannot afford to be spending time with sellers that have zero motivation because you're not even going to get close to your deal and you're just going to waste time. So what I want you to do is go for motivated sellers only. How do I know if they're a motivated seller? They need to sell versus want. Okay? These are the people you need. These are the ones you want out of your life. You will get nowhere. If you spend time with non-motivated sellers, it's crazy. And what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to add the word highly motivated sellers. I only want to work with the most motivated people. If you just kind of casually want to sell your house, call me back in 6 months. I am not going to spend time with you. Okay? It's really important. You need to understand that, which leads me to the next one is that I'm going to go for super motivation. Well, Rick, how do I find super motivation? That's simple. Government lists, driving $4. It's really easy, guys. You have to find the most motivated sellers because the motivation is going to get higher and higher. You people out there, all you wholesalers out there doing marketing right now are go, hey, you're all telling me the same thing. The phones are ringing. I'm getting a lot more interest. Guys, there's more people looking to sell their property than has been in the last 2 or 3 years. What do you think the end of this year, the next 3 months and all of 2023, it's going to be insane. So I'm telling you, make sure you work with the most motivated people and the people that are on the edge that won't go to your price, put them on the shelf and go find another motivated seller and see if in a few months you will most likely get the price you need. And let them know prices are dropping. There's nothing but negative news coming out about real estate. And when you come back, your offer is going to be significantly less. Okay? So it's really, really important. Let me see here. Number 9, we're almost done, guys. And then we'll roll into like Q&As. Inspection contingencies. I don't know if I'm spelling this right, but it's close enough. Okay. You people have been doing 7 to 14 days. You could get away with it up to the market to this point. But I'm here to tell you, I'm doing 30 days. I don't care. If you don't want to work with me, that's fine. But like our company, we're leaving a 30-day window on everything. Why? Because they're taking much longer to sell. I have to be flexible and I got to make sure I got the right price. And that leaves me room. If I don't have the right price, I can come back and renegotiate. And honestly, it's taking us 2 to 2.5 weeks to find the right cash buyer on these deals, which would usually take us 2 to 3 days. So I anticipate these numbers going much bigger, meaning it's going to take longer and longer. So start programming yourself now for 30 days because it's that important. You have to understand 30 days. And honestly, after 3 weeks, if you can't find a cash buyer even close, either get out of the contract or renegotiate it. Okay. But your 7 to 14 day windows, that is not going to cut the mustard in wholesaling, guys. You need flexibility. So please write it into your inspection contingencies. It is really important, 30 days. Okay. And number 10, this is going to be funny. I'll put this in blue. How's that? Avoid distractions of, well, let's do this. Avoid distractions of guru schemes to avoid wholesaling. What do I mean by that? Just go on your Facebook feed. Heck, go into Google, whatever you want. And almost every third or fourth ad I get, because obviously I'm in the business, is I'm tired of competing with wholesalers. Are you tired of fighting with wholesalers? I've got a secret method that will yield you much bigger results than wholesaling, and you don't have to do any of that. You actually pay full price and you never pay with any of your money. Guys, I'm telling you, man, avoid this stuff like the plague, okay? The problem is when these schemes come up, they close pretty fast. So back in 2008, I actually did short sale flips. Now, short sales were never a scheme, but it got so popular that the banks made it that where it was almost impossible to do these. They did a 90-day restriction on them. You had to fund them. There was all sorts of rules, and they threatened you with like fraud, going to jail on them. It took them about 5 years to figure it out, but that, like, you can't really do a short sale flip. You got to do it traditionally and you got to buy it. No big deal. But here's the problem with all this stuff you see on like novations. Like right now in Florida, if you have a lien recorded less than 12 months, the title companies won't recognize it. So a lot of the novation strategies they're teaching around the country, they're already being killed. Why? Because people are complaining about them. Banks don't like them. The title companies hate them. And sellers are very confused with what's going on. So power of attorneys are very risky documents. They should be done with an attorney. Anyone who advises you other is putting you at severe risk for a major lawsuit, okay? If you have no experience, please don't start out doing innovation. That is not where you go to learn them. Innovation is not a contract. It is not a trick. It is not a get out of jail card free. It is a replacement of contract. But somehow there's a couple cats out here selling it like crazy, and they're saying they're calling it, ready for this, wholesaling 2.0. It's not. It's actually fraudulent what they're doing. They're recording an illegitimate lien on the property, okay? A non-seasoned lien, and you don't do physical work on the house. So your lien can be challenged in court. And honestly, if the lien is under 12 months, eventually they're going to make it where they're only going to pay, banks are only going to pay on liens 12 months or more. And you're going to have to legitimize the lien. So you're either going to have to be a contractor or perform a service that is customary for that price. By the way, most novations are recording $50,000 to $100,000 liens. They're highly illegal. Okay, that's not my opinion. That's an attorney's opinion. Also, doing a power of attorney without having an attorney represent the home seller puts you at grave risk in those deals. So what I'm telling you is all these little tricks. And by the way, I love creative financing. It works very well, and I love creative financing. It's not a replacement for wholesaling, okay? honestly, if you know how to do wholesaling and you master wholesaling first, creative financing is a natural progressive step that will make you even better. The problem is a lot of people think they can do creative financing and skip wholesaling. And I'm here to tell you that's problematic, because if you can master wholesaling, you become a much better creative financing person. So a lot of the news you see on creative, and I love creative financing, and I love anyone who helps promote it. My problem is if you think you can do creative financing because you think wholesaling is hard, the reality is wholesaling is hard, but it pays you today. The reality is creative financing is a little bit easier up front, but it's not going to pay you for years down the road. Okay. Every now and then you get a good creative financing deal, but I only recommend doing creative financing when you're positive cash flow from day one. And in a down market like this, you better make sure you stick to your guns on that. So I'm going to be helping you guys out with creative financing here soon. I promise you, but I'm telling you, avoid these distractions, guys, because like anything in life, if you haven't figured it out, if you do not put the work and the time into it, there is no shortcut. And all these wholesaling 2.0 novation stuff like that, it's all coming to an end. They're going to close novations down so fast, you're not even going to know what hit you. Okay. A novation is a replacement of the contract. It is not wholesaling. So and by the way, all you need is a seller to complain when you're doing an novation. And if you don't know what you're doing, which most of you don't, because you guys are taking courses on it, they are going to sue you and you will not have a leg to stand on. So you're going to record an illegal lien. You're going to record a power of attorney without the consultation of a real attorney, and tell the judge what your intention is. Tell them, I want to make $100,000 without spending a dime of my money. I'm not a licensed real estate agent, and I didn't fund anything, and I have no ability to buy it. And then tell me what you think is going to happen when all that happens. It's going to be a disaster. So that being said, guys, understanding these 10 rules, I'm telling you, they all apply. I swear to you, if you just use them, a lot of them are common sense, but you'd be surprised. I've seen wholesaling get so out of control from 2013, 14 on. That's why I got out of the limelight, and I love coming. I'm not coming back in. I've been doing this forever. I love coming in, number one, offering you guys for free to do everything. Okay. And number two is teach you to do it the right way, like the real way. So those of you that are just starting now, if you're brand new to this feed, it's perfect, because now you're going to learn everything the right way. So let me double quick check some questions on here. I saw. Let's see. Jesus says, hey, what do you think about the San Diego, California market? I think it's got the same problems every other market has. Now, San Diego is a well sought after market. You guys probably have some of the best weather in the United States. And San Diego has been hot since the 70s. So a lot of people want to live there, high demand. So if you know the local market and you stay in tune there, you can do a deal. Although wholesaling will be harder there because people are highly educated on prices, and your price points can approach the $1 million even for a starter home. So if you're local there, that's great. I wouldn't do it virtually. And then if you live there, you can try to do it locally. You only need 1 or 2 deals like a year to like change your life. And most of the deals are going to be 6 figures. And then you can pick out a virtual market with it. So that's it, guys. Let's see here. Okay, let me pull people on. And so here's the rules of live, guys. Don't get on here and complain, because like we're just going to waste time. I cannot fix complaining. I cannot fix excuses. Go in the bathroom, let it out on your mirror, and then come back and let's find a solution, see if we can help you out. So what's up, Miles? You there? Miles, can you hear me?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, man. How you doing?
Pretty good, Rick. How about yourself?
Good, man. What can I do for you?
Yeah. Well, just had a couple questions here. So, I watched the video around might have been a week and a half ago. It was like the 90-day action plan, and with that, like the way the market is going, do you think that's still a good something good to do because like I'm working with a partner right now and we're kind of dividing like she's pulling lists and then I do the cold calling and driving for dollars and stuff like that.
Okay.
And just I kind of want to get your idea on like what's the best plan of action for the next, let's say, 3 months to get a deal.
Well, without like getting into like deep personals with you. So which market are you in? Like what state?
Dallas.
I'm
So
sorry?
Texas. Texas.
Okay. So great market. So you're not in like San Diego or Manhattan or anything like that. So number one, I always tell you guys, look at your market locally. The easiest way to do that is just do a realtor search. All of you have a local realtors association, and you can just Google it. So to give you an idea, like I have the Palm Beach Board of Realtors. I Google it. I can go on there. I can download stats, and it's great. But here's the downside. Most of those stats are 2, if not 3 months behind. But you can, like, you know, like we're talking, the market's bad. You know, there's some markets where it's actually really good. So the first thing is get like the real information. You all hear nationally, and it's very easy to blend all 50 states and figure out what's going on. But you really need to know what's going on in your market. So the 3 things I concentrate. Number one, the average median price, which is dropping across the country. Number 2, the days on market. Okay. And then I'm going to track the inventory. Those 3 are going to figure out how much of a punch you're going to take in your local market. And if you don't know those numbers, you guys are completely guessing. I know my numbers locally, and if you don't know them, because some markets are much worse than others, and if you're in a much worse market, you got to be very aggressive on the conservative side on your buys. But in my experience, if you stay at the median price or below, I'm here to tell you, a lot of you guys are insulated from some of the stuff that's going on. So like I'm here in Florida, the high-end price points are melting. We've had a 20 to 25% reduction on anything $800,000 or higher. Okay. But our average median price is about $385,000. And so we've been concentrating on everything from 325 below, and we are moving them like that. And that's the key. With the minute I approach 400, we struggle moving the properties. And that's what I want you guys to understand is you've got to really be dialed in on your market. So once you know, hey, if I stay at my median price or below, and I'm tracking the data in my local market, and the minute you start to see like average price, days on market, or inventory start to like level off, then you can get really ahead of this market. Unfortunately, it's all falling. It's safe to say it's going to fall through spring and summer. And after that, we'll have to see what happens. I think the next sign, you're looking for the stock market to start to stabilize. And until the Federal Reserve starts, like they're dropping every month and a half, 75 basis points. When they drop to 50, they're kind of starting to signal the end of the pain. And then the idea is to get the pain down to 0. And then hopefully, eventually, it will go back the other way to stimulate people to get mortgages and stuff like that. So right now, we're at about 8% on a mortgage. Okay, so think about this. If the average median price across the United States is $350, remember the balance on a mortgage, 8%, like it costs them a lot of money to come up to pay for that. And the higher that interest rate goes, the harder it is to liquidate these houses. So once you get above that price point, you better have a special house because it's going to take a lot of time to move it. So we're still in really good shape at the median and below prices. That's where you guys got to understand. So remember, the whole point of wholesaling is to make a ton of money and minimize your risk. Okay. So let's make lots of money and really minimize our risk, and you'll be fine. Okay. And then the strategies I went over today, drag out your inspection contingency times because you have to. Like our buyers are taking 2 to 2.5 weeks to make decisions right now. It used to take 2 to 3 days. Okay. So I'm going 30 days with all the sellers. And if they don't want to do it, unless they're giving us a beyond smoking deal, we don't do the deal because they're not selling. They're not going to sell. So I would stick with that game plan. And the most important thing you've got to understand is your ARV's got to be spot on. You got to be on the extreme low side of the ARVs. So when I say it's 200 to 220, don't think it's 230 because you were going to, like that's going to be all your profit. I would actually price that thing at 185, 190. So if you get it and it's still the numbers make more, you still have room because your cash buyer is going to put some more money into it. So you're in a really good market. I'm telling you guys, people want to sell their houses right now. We are right now we are still in the denial stage of the real estate market. And you know what that means, right? It means people think it's magically going to fix itself by the end of the year, and it's not. Okay. Remember how long real estate took to get to this point. We're only in month 7 of a downward market. Now, here's the good news. Most down markets own the maximum they last for is 24 months. So you're only in month 7 of, I think, which is at least 18 to 20 months. So these prices are not coming up, guys. There's nobody that's going to save the sellers. So they're going to be there. So that deal you turned down today because they wouldn't take your number, put it in your follow-up and don't freak out about it because you have a high probability of getting that deal. It's going to be a low number when you do it. So we've already picked up 3 additional deals of people who turned us down and like, hey, we'll take that offer. We lowered the number again. They had to think about it another few days and they wound up taking it. So I don't get upset when people don't take my offers in the down market. I could care less.
Put them in the long follow-up, 30, 60, 90 days.
Whatever it is, because guys, no one's coming to save these homes. And especially homes that need work, the ones that we want to target, realtors right now are literally scratching their head. Unless you're giving them picture perfect, pretty little houses, they cannot move them. I mean, some realtors can, don't get me wrong, but in my market, stuff is really, really struggling to move. Now, even on the average median prices, if you get one that's beat up, it's not going to sell in the open market. It takes 30 days to sell it on the open market. And before this ever happened, it would take less than an hour. So 7 months, the entire attitude's changed towards the market. And what do we got coming up?
Holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
And guys, I don't know about you, but like stuff's expensive right now. And families have to make decisions upon getting food, putting gas in the car. I don't even know if like gifts are even an option for some people. It's that sad right now. And some people are going to have to make decisions on consolidating households and helping each other out. And here's a little secret. December is always my best month in wholesale. Every year, December, good market, bad market, it doesn't matter. You know why?
Christmas.
People make decisions in December. Not only do you have the holidays, you just come out of Thanksgiving. You're thinking about all of 2023. You're thinking about Christmas, all the good times, the bad times. And then that's when people sit down and make decisions. Hey, we just need to sell this. We're going to have to downsize or, we just have to move in mom's house to make things work until the economy recovers. And you guys got to be there to help people out. I'm telling you, December, the last 2 weeks in December, if you guys take it off, I will take every one of your deals. I'm telling you right now, they are the best months. And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to take my foot off the gas during December. I don't. I actually turn it up as high as I can possibly go because that's what catapults you in the Q1, Q2 of next year. And you guys already know there's negative news out there. Go out and help people out. And honestly, I'm here to help people out. I don't make anybody sell me a house, and I think it works well. So I would take the 90-day plan and push forward. Just do an emphasis on high motivation list. And then when you're talking to people that are on the edge and you want to sneak up to that price, don't do it. Hold tight. Worst case scenario is you don't get that deal. Best case scenario is they call you back in a week or two and you get that deal. Or even a better case scenario is you turn that deal down and a better deal comes up and you get that one. And then the other one calls you later and you lower the price on it. It's a win-win. It's happening all the time right now. Okay. I just waited somebody out for $110,000 discount. It only took me 32 days. It's like, I can't move this thing. Like you're right. I'm like, okay. So I teach you how to be, I need to do an entire presentation on this. How to disconnect from your offers. So in the down market, you got to be more detached from your offers than ever. Why? Because what are the options? What are they going to do besides someone like you? And all of a sudden, you don't have 10 wholesalers going after them. Maybe you got 3 or 4. But as long as you kill people with kindness and you do it, I think what you're doing is just fine. You just ramp up the motivation and just focus on the people that want to sell now, and the ones that are on the edge. The last 4 or 5 years, everyone's been reaching, and I reached a little bit too, to be fair. I don't reach anymore. And I tell them the price is going down if you call me back. I only have so much money and I want to move stuff, but like it costs a lot of money to move stuff for people that actually have to fund it. So when you guys are doing the assignments, you have to have time. So you got to give them time to assign it. So guys, hold tight, go for no. And when they turn your deal down, just put them in your follow-up. Do not sneak up another $5,000 or $10,000. You don't need to. So.
All right. Yeah, Rick. Well, I appreciate it, man. I've been deep diving into you guys' content.
Guys, step into it, man, because it's going to get really juicy in 2023. So if you have the discipline and the fortitude now, then you'll get it all set for 2023. I'm telling you, and by the way, buyers now for the first time expect you to pull back and give lower offers. I think the news is now there, and each month gets progressively easier because the media, they're the ones who deliver the bad news, not us. We just capitalize on it, and we'll go. And then, here's the thing is, guys, understanding the most you're going to have on this window is 2 years. So what are you going to do in 2 years to connect with as many motivated sellers as humanly possible? Because then we get to go back to the other show, and that wasn't so much fun either. It was a pain in the butt because you had to like really roll out the red carpet for motivated sellers, and then you didn't spend any time with cash buyers. So now we're spending more time with cash buyers, and we're being more flexible with motivated sellers. But here's the main thing is, if they want to sell their house, connect them to a realtor or put them in a long follow-up. Only spend time with people who need to sell the house, because in this type of market, you have to buy great deals, and you're not going to get great deals on the want factor. It's got to be the need. Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, I have somebody who's motivated. Spoke to him actually earlier today. So I'll follow up this week and I'll keep you updated, man. Appreciate it.
And be patient when you talk to them. I think for the last 4 or 5 years, you guys have been taught by so many people to be so eager to buy stuff.
Yeah.
And if it's in your DNA, and that, like, you got to change the tactics. You just have to be cool and calm about it. We all want it inside. Like, don't kid me, but you can't be so overexcited and keep bidding up your price. Because if you did that, I would just keep asking you for more too. Yeah. There's something really powerful when someone knows you're going to walk away. So I had a guy the other day, I put a video of this together. It was really powerful. He turned my offer down. I said, well, he goes, that the best you can do? I go, honestly, I'm stretching. I shook his hand. I walked away. Mm-hmm. I swear to you, about 30 steps down, he ran down and chased me down the sidewalk. And here are his words. You ready for this, guys? I don't make this stuff up. Before you don't give me an offer, just give me an offer. I'm open. And that's how I struck like a phenomenal, I almost got a 90% discount with that tactic. And I made an offer and I got turned down. And when he made me come back the other day, I cut the offer by another 50%. Jeez. He's like, listen, I'll just take whatever you'll give me at this point. I'm like, now I did it had a lot of problems though. Trust me, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare deal, but I knew I would make money. I'm not going to fix it up or do anything. I'm just going to sign it and move on. So I didn't take that mentality, but like we shouldn't really be switching from market to market, but remember, you have to adjust in every market. Like, I just think so many wholesalers have been playing realtor. It's been tough. Yeah. So just be very conservative in your numbers and say, listen, here's my offer. Don't take it. It's not personal. I love you. You build a rapport. And by the way, your rapport has nothing to do with your offer. That's why you should be detached from your offer and married to your relationship for the rapport. Okay. And if you do that, nobody likes to turn friends and families down, dude. Like, right? Everybody, friends and family is shot, and that's what you're working in. But when it comes to your offer, you have to detach. Go, listen, I get it, but that's the best I can do. And honestly, I think I was reaching when I gave you that number. But let me know if something changes. I still got some money laying around. I'll see if I can do it. And then if you can get them to chase you, remember, it's just like that dog. My dog to this day, if I let him out the patio and he takes off, runs around, and then I call him to come back and he just stares at me. Why? Because he wants me to go out there and play with him. If I go out there and start chasing him, I look like an idiot. I get tired, and you can't catch a dog, right? Where if I shut the door and tell him, listen, I'm going in, in about 10 seconds, I hear just he's like just begging at the door, like, and you guys got to do the same thing.
Oh, that makes sense. That was a great analogy.
Okay. Okay, Miles, go get it, man.
Awesome. All right.
I got
Appreciate
you.
it.
No problem. Paul, you there?
Hey, Rick.
Hey, what's
Hey.
going on, man?
Me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So I'm 15 and I just watched your 90-day action plan video. And it said to check in with you. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, wow, man. 15. Where you live? What state are you in?
Texas,
Awesome.
like
Awesome.
Southwest Houston.
Okay, cool. Cool. Are you in school right now or?
Yeah, I'm in high school. I'm a sophomore.
Okay. So what do you like to do at high school? You do
I just lift
anything
weights
else?
right now.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I just have
Okay,
one
so what go ahead with your question, and I got a few questions for you because I don't talk to you
All right.
15 on here.
So,
You sound very mature, by the way.
What'd you say?
I said you sound very mature, so you're never gonna have an issue on the phone.
All right, thank you. I just had one question. So I have like my dad, he'll sign like on my behalf,
Okay.
but I was just wondering because he works like a 9 to 5, so that's gonna be kind of like an issue. You know what I'm saying?
So my son started at 16.
Yeah.
And for the first year, actually until he turned 18, I had to do it. But to be honest with you, the first few months, I spent a lot more time with him. Don't get me wrong, I'm in the business, I know it. But if you could set deals up to where you just get your father's signature, and you need to fill your father in because I don't want him signing something legally he doesn't understand what he's signing.
Yeah, I filled him in on like he knows.
Yeah. So the idea is you can review the paperwork with your father on his schedule, like when he gets home from work. You don't want to call him at work.
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever your relationship is, and you can set everything up because for the most part, motivated sellers, like if you can help them out and get it done, they don't care. Like, it's so funny in my office here. I got to post this. I have a picture of Zach's first deal he did at 16. And the seller has a freaked out look on their face. Zach has a freaked out look on her face. And I'm just like laughing my butt off because neither one of them knew what they were doing, but we still put the deal together. The mechanics always works. The contract, do you know how many contracts I sign? Like I have people who do it for me, like set everything up and then we line them up and we just sign them all at once. Now I trust them. I don't even read them anymore because their butt's on the line if they're wrong. So your butt's on the line if you get something wrong. But honestly, contracts are pretty straightforward. And the contract I give you in my course, unless you screw up the price or the dates, like you can't screw it up because it's pretty much written up there. Don't leave a giant deposit. Make sure you have an exit strategy. And you obviously got to make sure you got the right price at the right ARV. And you can't really screw it up. When you do like a 20-page contract, there's a lot of stuff you can screw up on it. So what I would do is get it all set up. Make sure you review it with your seller and just have your dad review it. And just tell, all you got to do is tell your motivated seller, it's like, listen, I'm going to have my partner handles the money part. He's just going to just get a signature and I'll bring it back to you. Now, here's the most important part for you, okay? Get the seller's signature first before you get your dad's.
All right.
Because it's easy. That's the easy part. Getting your dad's is the easy part. Getting the seller signature is the hard part. So the first 2 years, Zach went out and got every signature. And I said, get the signature first. Every now and then I had to get involved. But most people don't want to sit there and sign together. They could give two craps. They don't care. They don't care. And then when it comes to the actual closing, it's even easier. And then once you have a relationship with the title company, they'll even let your dad close it electronically. Wow. With a DocuSign and stuff like that. So honestly, the signature is kind of the easiest part.
All right.
You just got to make sure your dad's willing. Like don't
Yeah.
trip, don't do anything he doesn't know what he's doing. But is your dad on board with what you're doing?
Yeah, he is. He's actually in like commercial loans and stuff, so he knows what.
Oh wow.
How to read contracts and stuff.
So you're does he support you on this?
Yeah, but he's kind of like iffy on the PropStream and dialer subscriptions. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, yeah. Remember now, number one, they're not a requirement.
Yeah.
Number two, you can do it without them. Number three, when you decide to ramp up your business a little bit more, it is better than hiring an employee when you first start out because employees are a lot of work when you first start out.
Yeah.
And you got to understand, when I first did those, I paid 25 cents for every lead. This was 20 years ago. You know how much money that was? It was like ridiculous. So I didn't start till I was 33. So like you've already like cut it way in half. And honestly, like whatever you can learn up to this point would be great. Is your plans to go to college, or like what do you want to do?
I don't really know. I mean, I might just go to satisfy my parents because that's like they're big on that, like really big.
So if you ever want to talk to Zach, he's on the lives and stuff.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, Zach's a really smart kid, though, like much smarter than I ever was. I was street smart, book dumb, but it's his mother is a former educator, and so a lot of our family is like, so she's a teacher for a long time, but I quickly got her out of that because they didn't pay her anything. I said I can do one deal and make your entire salary. Like why don't you just go help out at the schools? And that's what she does. She helps out. But Zach wound up getting his AA degree while he was in high school, just to get through the process faster. Because number one, if you haven't looked into that in your school, it's free, and most public schools don't want to share it with you because it takes money out of their budget. Okay, so look into that, because if you can get 2 years of college done, and by the way, it's not like really hard courses to get your AA. Your AA is like it's like your GED, like for college students, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Then if you want to just and then Zach got through college in a year and a half after that. So Zach, he spent his entire college career flipping houses. And,
really?
He actually went away for school for a year, and he turned his whole dorm center into a cold calling center. And
yeah, I've seen the videos.
Yeah, he was making hundreds of thousands of dollars while he was. He's like, I don't know, why am I at school? I go, it's your call, man. Yeah. And then he went and finished his thing online. Now, I will tell you this. I'm here to tell you there is no shame in getting your degree online. There's no problem. So you might be able to like satisfy the parents and do that and be able to find some. I'm not here. I don't want to get you in trouble.
No,
but I'm here to tell you. So my daughter does medical, so she's getting her doctorate. And they'll pay her well and did it. But unless you're going to get something in law, engineering, or medical, I don't use this because I don't know why anybody would go to college today. Like there is no value. Yeah. It's like it's almost worse than high school. I'm sorry. And the only reason like most people go to high school is because you have to. So I know nothing about homeschooling, but it's something I would consider if I'm not having any more kids, but like these schools are, they're not teaching you much. So past reading, writing, and math and stuff like that, which is all done for you. And by the way, I pay everyone to do that, but you still need to know it. I got a degree in finance. I was terrible in college. I was a C- student at best. And, but I did learn how to read financial statements, and I learned how to do accounting. That's probably the only thing I ever got out of college. Writing papers and all that other crap. So dude, I'm just telling you, man, the whole world's out there for you. Like my son at 17 was consistently making $100,000 a year while he was in high school. So don't teach the education system. They're not going to teach you how the economics of the world works, and start figuring out. And here's the other thing is find a way to live off 20% of what you make, and you're going to be a really rich guy by the time you're 20.
All right.
I forced Zach to do this. I don't force him anymore. He does it. The kid never spent a dime till he was like 21, 22. So he racked up $500,000-$600,000 while he's living at home, doing everything and going to college. And then he has no debt and everything like that. And $600,000 is so easy to turn into $1 million. And then once you have that first million, then it's just, okay, how do I get the 2 million and stuff? The younger you do it and the earlier you figure it out, the better off you are. And here's my problem is I figured out how to make $1 million. I just didn't figure out how to keep $1 million. So it took me about an 8-year journey to get there.
Yeah.
So it's not the nice cars. It's none of that stuff. It's buying assets that pay you so you don't have to work in the future. So if you can figure out wholesaling, even if it take a year or two to figure out, if you can commit 2 full-time years to it, I guarantee you'll be the richest guy on your block and the richest guy in your family. I already know so. But most people are going to do the opposite. They want to spend money, and then they constantly have to go back and find ways to replace money. So like if I don't work today, I probably make $4 or $5 grand a day if I work or don't. And me a long time to get to that. A long time to get that. So I'm excited to you at 15 because like you can do so much with it. So just make sure you got the support of your parents and then
Yeah.
just have a plan and just do the opposite of like what your friends do to a point. And it's like, I mean, I got a lot of my friends from like 15, but like it's a weird like when we have so we all do like fantasy football and stuff.
Me too.
So Zach's really good at it. And so like twice a year we get together for like a draft party and we sit around and I'm just like, I did this shit. Like I'm just like I look around and I'm just like, so you just figure it out. Stop doing what everybody else does and figure out what's going to excel you. And I'm telling you, if you give 2 years sacrifice, you get wildly wealthy because you do what the opposite what everybody else does. I'm telling you, if you do it at 15, like I didn't have the discipline, man. So I didn't really have a dad that guided me, and my mom she didn't know what was going on. So if you have your parents just teach you about like investments and how to buy assets, real estate will be easy. I can help you out with that. But like I'm talking about like stocks and all that other stuff. Like right now, like if you buy like an Apple stock or like even a Tesla stock and just forget about it in 10 years, that's going to probably get you a quarter of the way to being a millionaire just by doing that investment alone.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So it's just, dude, I'd be super excited. I didn't figure out money until I was 33. Married with kids, and I go, man, I'm deep in the hole. I got to figure this stuff out now. So just make the commitment if you truly want. And by the way, anyone who tells you the best years of your life should be like your senior year in high school and college, they're morons.
That's what my mom tells me. And I just like,
I know.
I don't know.
Like I just laugh when people go, oh, the greatest years of your life. And I go like this, I go, why? So I just went through with my niece with this. I'm like, why? I'm like, so she some of our family used to tell my son, like, you know, you're sacrificing him now because he's working. I'm like, he's doing exactly what he wants to do. And so like now Zach, he can do whatever he wants. And he's in his early 20s. He can do whatever he wants. Whatever he wants. The sky's the limit. Doesn't have to work another day anymore. But like, why? He's just like, man, I'm just getting started. He's going to do like crazy stuff. And you should too. I hate the word job when people go, oh, you got to go get your dream job. It's like job.
Yeah.
Dude. So before you pile on debt, before you get a mortgage, before like you make a nuptial or anything like that, get yourself and get squared away, and try to avoid getting like a dog, all these other things, because people start this stuff and you get stuck. I got caught in the trap. I'm just telling you, man.
Yeah.
15, it's amazing what you're doing, and YouTube's one of your best friends to educate you. Just find the right people there.
Yeah.
And really, really smart people on there, and they'll teach you. Nobody taught us about money as kids. And that's the problem. And now you have everything in front of you. Honestly, find a way to get 100 grand in your bank account and do it legally and ethically. And then your job is to take that 100 grand and grow it to $1 million. And you can easily do that by the time you're 21.
All right.
Once you have $1 million, do you realize you're ahead of 98% of the entire world?
Crazy.
Then you can have fun. Then you take investments and then you compile it. And the idea is I always used wholesaling because I could constantly pull $10,000 and $30,000 checks out of the year. And people are like, I don't understand how you can do that. Like, I bought my wife a car the other day. I just paid cash for it. I didn't want to pay the financing. They're like, how can you do that? I sit with my friends and like, hey, we're going to go over, we're going on this trip. And they'll start asking me how much it is. And I don't really tell them. I'm like, well, you know, I don't have more than $1,000. And I wind up paying for almost all of them. It's just 15, dude. I'm super excited for you. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm telling you, wholesaling, I've been doing this 20 years, dude. It is not a like quick fix. It's not super easy like everyone tells you, but if you stick it out and you have hit the perfect market for it. And here's the thing is, Zach's biggest challenge is he sounded really young and he looked really young. And so
that's what I was kind of worried about.
Dude, you sound like you're in your mid-20s.
Really? I've never heard that.
It's not going to be an issue, and you sound pretty confident. And so honestly, the value classes, anything accounting, financing, and anything that helps you with your confidence and like giving speeches and stuff like that, do it. Like, take speech classes. I dreaded speech classes when I did it, but like now I look back at them and they really help kind of mold who you are. So, and then, you know, still be a kid, so you still have fun, but like, don't accept like everybody being broke with a job. It's like, Zach goes, Zach was saying the other day, he goes, why would someone take a job for 80, 90 grand a year? I'm like, I go, most people go crazy for that. So You got to find a way to work the system to your advantage. And then, but here's the dude. Most people go to school, they get a degree, then they party like crazy, and then they go take the first job. They usually wind up getting a sales job, and they get their ass kicked for a year or two, and then they try to climb up the corporate ladder. I did it for 12 years. It sucks, dude.
Wow.
120 grand a year, and I was working 80 hours a week. So just to give you an equation, for 60 grand a year, I pay a guy just to drive around and do shit for me. Like,
really?
You know why? Because I can afford to. Like, what?
Yeah.
You do this for me. It's like, it's so freaking nice. But I give up a big portion, not a big portion of my income, but like I only have so much time in a day. So keep going, man. Any other questions for me while I got you?
No, not
Okay,
right
so
now.
keep coming back, dude. I love like a 15-year-old. I just like, as long as your parents support you.
Yeah, they do.
I've given you a couple ideas. Look into getting your AA degree and maybe even getting 1 year out of the way. And so here was my deal when Zach went to school. Even though I can afford to pay for school, I didn't fully believe in it. So I told Zach he needs to pay for his own school. Dude, he looked at me like, are you nuts? And so he applied for every scholarship. He talked to people how to get scholarships. Not only did he get school paid for on a complete, he did on an academic. He's a smart guy. My daughter did it too. Is they got grant money and they got scholarships. I don't know. Do you know how scholarships work?
Yeah, like
Bro,
academic.
you ready for this? They just give you the money. You do what you want with it. They put
Really?
it down. Zach walked away because he finished school early. He walked away with a bunch of extra cash. Now you have to pay taxes on it, but who cares? You just take a portion out and do it for taxes. So keep in mind when you get those scholarship money in the grant, they send it to you directly.
Really?
Yeah, good stuff. And by the way, there are scholarships where people don't even apply for. Zach found a $15,000 scholarship because it's only like you and one other person. And this guy's got like a 2.0 and he doesn't do anything else extra at school. So Zach like picked it up. So I think he applied for like 25 of them. And they're the same thing we do in wholesaling. You do what you can do in school, like same thing. Yeah. Like it's amazing. So don't wait till the last minute and get it done. And you'd be really shocked what people will give you. Like businesses all the time want to give out money. I can't do a scholarship just out of the principle. It drives me nuts. Yeah. You want a scholarship to teach wholesaling, dude? I'll knock yourself out. Pop up on here. I'll show you how to do it. Why am I going to give you $5 grand to go get a degree and like just keep raising the prices? So just get through it fast as you can and try. And God forbid, please don't sign a student loan. That's the only thing I forbid.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid that.
So honestly, like the days of going away to school when it was like super cheap. Now, honestly, I tell people like do it online. It's the same degree. Nobody cares. You know, University of Florida, you can get the same degree online as you do in person. You just don't pay for housing.
Yeah, I saw that on one of Zach's videos. He said he did it online, like all of it.
You go online. He's like, now he's good with it. Some people can't handle that. And Zach went to a really hard school, with the hardest school in the state of Florida, one of the hardest schools in the country. And but it satisfied my wife. And I'm just like, hey, you want to come back over? And he, by the way, he went to school full time and did wholesaling. So it can be done. So like sometimes you just get. Here's how I look at college, guys. If you're on the fence, just look at it as an extension of high school and just get through it as fast as you can. Don't get caught up in all the drinking and stuff like that. I mean, dude, just like I waited till my 50s, like my 40s and 50s to figure out like drinking's no good for you. It just never had a problem with it. It's not going to help you out. So while I was in college, they taught me how to drink. So I'm just telling you, I got really bad advice at the time and it cost me a lot of time. And if I started back that early, it would have been amazing. So stay on your journey because I'm just telling you, man, the schools will not teach you about money. It's not going to teach you about freedom. Schools are designed so you'll become a good employee, so you'll pay your taxes, so the government can take as much money from you as they can. As opposed to becoming a business owner, you pay little to no taxes because you read the rules to the game and you learn how to do it. This thing called depreciation, this year I'll almost pay zero taxes. You know why? Because I bought millions of dollars of property and I provided an incredible like property-based tax and I pay employees with payroll. And at the end of the day, I get to write all that stuff off. So
yeah,
schools won't teach you any of that stuff. I'm telling you,
I know.
Schools won't teach you any of it. So, but the thing is, a lot of people think, well, I got to spend tens of thousands of dollars. You don't. I'm like, you got to be resourceful. You're in an amazing time to learn stuff. So go find, also try to find people in your local market that are really good at real estate. And that's always a big, big plus too. Be careful. Every day, give you some guidance, but if you can go to some of like the real estate groups and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was looking into those.
Younger people. So
yeah.
Anything you need, you know where I'm at. Just look me up and then connect with me back anytime, man. Okay?
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, man. See you. That crazy dude, 15. That's awesome. So he's starting like a year earlier than Zach. So I could go on all day on that stuff. So okay, let's see. Clint, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got a little echo there. Let me hear it again.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Turn your volume down on your YouTube there. It's just got a little bit of feedback.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, you're good, man. Where you at?
First off, thank you for your time. Really appreciate you and your son.
No problem.
Just to start off, so I'm in Connecticut right now, and you guys push government lists very hard. You say they're like they're one of the best lists you can get. So right now I'm working on the code violations. I started with the water shutoff list, but here's my question. I want to know, at least in your experience, what would you do? Because apparently in Connecticut, the water certain items are exempt from FOIA. That's what I was told by one of the desk clerks. He said that water shutoff lists are exempt from FOIA. So what I did was I went to one of those Ask a Lawyer sites, paid like $50 to talk to a lawyer. Okay. I see your face.
I don't hate lawyers. Go ahead, I'm listening.
And I mean, the news I got wasn't too promising. She said that in the law, in the section, it basically says any item that can violate someone's personal privacy, can, and that can be exempt from FOIA. So I might still just do the FOIA request or hound them. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. So I don't know what's your take on it.
So are you doing this on the phone or in person?
I've only contacted them once on the phone.
Okay. So understanding it's a night and day conversation from in person on the phone. If you ever have a chance to go in, I'll give you an analogy. Okay? I'm old, so I can do it. It's like asking a girl out over the phone as opposed to like going in front and courting her in person. It's a whole different response because you can look at their eyes, you can look at their body language, and you can like read them a little bit better. Or you can see if her father's chasing you down the porch and I'm probably just going to run. As on the phone, you can't see any of this stuff. So it's much easier to get rejected on the phone than it is in person. If you can do the person, give it a shot. I've always given you full disclosure on the water shut off. It is more of a 50-50 type of list because it does fall in a gray area because some of them are public utility companies. The private ones, they won't give you anything. And even the public ones they kind of fall back on the security of information. Although I don't agree with it, but I'm not here to sue somebody for the list. So don't go past the FOIA. It's not worth it. The only thing you could do is try to show up in person and see if you could use your charm to work way around it. You got to understand the people that work in these offices are 9 times out of 10, they're people that you know in like your neighborhoods and your communities. They're just people trying to get their bills paid and get stuff done. So a lot of times when I go there, they'll have a picture of their dog, their husband, their wife, or whatever it is on the wall. And I will use that. In the old days when I could not crack the code, I would send my wife in. She hated every minute of it. Boy, like that girl to girl contact, you cannot beat it, guys. I'm telling you, you can't beat it. It's unbelievable. So don't beat yourself on the water shut off because I have counties I can't touch it, and I'm supposed to, and I've done the exact same thing you did. I just don't do the FOIA because they never. Anyways, I think I filed one FOIA form. And I finally got what I want, but man, it really put me in a hole when I did it. So you guys know, I told you up front, FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, I use it as a bluff. I don't have time to fill out paperwork and follow up, like try to like use my legal maneuvering. So sometimes I get caught in my bluff and I just walk away. And then I send in the big dogs, which is my wife. She's maybe all of 5 foot, but man, boy, when she wants some. But just so you know, guys, I actually of her getting something I couldn't get. I got to pull it out for you. You're gonna think she ran over. She didn't. She actually killed him. She completely killed him with kindness. And after about 5 minutes, I gave her everything she wanted. I just sat there for an hour, and the lady just basically told me to take off. So it's not always you. You don't take it personally. Just sometimes you just recircle, go to another list, and then you come back next month and chase that list. And there's another employee in there, and you can just try it all over again. So don't beat yourself up. Those are the best lists. They're the list we're having the most success with in our market, period, hands down. And remember, the more motivation you get, the better shot you get in a deal. Instead of like, listen, I'm all for calling bills and stuff like that, but it's a quantity like number. So you give me a list of 1,500 violation people, I guarantee I'll walk over the deal every time. Every time. But what you guys see is all the time and energy I put into it, which you're well aware of now what it takes, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I've got about 12 major cities in my counties that I can ask. I've only asked one city for the water shutoff list.
Okay, well, just challenging list. So you're at par for the course. Don't just sleep over.
I got you.
So get all the lists you can, and then learn from the ones you didn't get, and wait like a month, and then go back and regroup.
About a month.
You'd be shocked, because you're going to learn each time you go or talk to them, and then you'll know what not to say to get you kicked out of the list, and then you'll probably get one step further each time. And that's honestly that's how you get there. You guys, let me tell you, I had such a struggle getting my tax delinquency the first time. I think it took me 8 tries. And then I had to go wait in the DMV line because that's where they are in the state of Florida. And I'd have to wait 2 and 3 hours. I was like, lady goes, man, it's you again. You must really want this list. I'm like, it's the tax delinquency. They're public taxes. Like, I don't think you can deny me. And like after a while, I just got like super nice and like I figured it out. But I'm just telling you, man, just hang in there, man. Just don't like lose your stuff over one list. Get the ones you can. Learn from it and just regroup and go back.
Yeah, I was just gonna tell you, I just got the code violation list for my city for at least all the way back to 2021. It was like 60,000 leads, which I can't do nothing. That's too much, but at least I'm getting somewhere.
You're getting there, man. What's the temperature there tonight?
I'm sorry. Oh, temperature?
Yeah.
Oh, it's weird. It's going from 40 to 75.
Woo!
Right, it's ridiculous. Right now it's 56. It's in the middle. So no, I'm originally from New York. I just moved up here about 3 months ago.
Okay, so you're used to the cold temperature.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Don't worry, I thought I was out of hurricane season, and apparently I got a hurricane coming Wednesday night. So
you guys are tough down there in Florida.
yeah, I know, but I'm missing a window in one of my units, and I'm not happy about it. So $75 wins does not bode well for me, but we'll figure it out. So keep doing what you're doing, man. You'll get it.
All right, thank you. Thanks for your time, man.
See you, Clint. Okay.
Hey, Rick, how you doing?
I'm trying to pretend like I was frozen on the screen. Was it working?
Yeah, I did. I thought you froze for a minute.
I saw somebody do that. I go, man, that was funny, but like it's. Anyways, what's going on, man? What can I help you out with?
So I have been doing reverse wholesaling for a minute. I've been calling for rents and trying to find some cash buyers.
Okay.
And I tell them that I'm a wholesaler and I have a few deals that I've been doing in the area or that I've done in the area. And then they ask me if I have any deals currently, and I tell them no, and then they just seem to like lose interest or they just hang up. So I was wondering, like, what should I say when they ask me that and I don't have any?
So you got to understand, like, I'm going to be honest with you, I would probably do the same because the in the last 4 or 5 years before this adjustment in the market, it was ridiculous. It was like Let me put you on my cash buyers list. Great. What deals you got? Well, I'm working on getting a deal. I'm like, I was always nice about it, give me a call back when you got something in there. The problem is they feel like you're fishing without like having any inventory. So keep in mind, your inventory is what you sell to cash buyers. So you can't completely fault them. And like honestly, I really appreciate, like with you being brutally honest, that's good too. So maybe just kind of like soften up the approach on it. Say, listen, I'm looking for some good cash buyers in this area. I got a couple pending deals, and the word pending gives you enough leadway to get their information without sharing everything with them. So the word pending means, so as long as you're talking to motivated sellers and you're making an effort. Some people don't even want to talk to motivated sellers and they just collect cash buyers. And I don't recommend that because it's just going to drive you nuts. People do the same thing with bandit signs, they put out for that. So I would use like the word pending, but listen, you only need one or two people to like believe in you to help you out. Like it's just go, listen, here's a really good, like I'm a little bit new at this, but I do get good discounts. And when I get them, I'm going to call the first person that, wants to work with me. So, so either they're going to go like, okay, well, if this guy hits, then I'll give him my information. But I will tell you this, the challenge on this is when you ask them for a proof of funds and they know you don't have any inventory and stuff like that's challenging. And I'll be the first one to tell you on it. So I wouldn't go crazy on the proof of funds. I would just get their basic information. Then when you get a deal, go, listen, dude, you remember that proof of funds I talked about? I kind of need that now. And don't let them go past that. So I would bypass on the proof of funds just because you're new to it and use the word pending. Period. And honestly, you don't have to go crazy with the word wholesaler. I think the word wholesaler freaks people out when they first hear it. Just say, listen, I spend money in market for like really good deals. Who cares? All they want to know is you're going to give them good deals. They don't care if you're a realtor, a wholesaler, a broker. They don't give a crap. So I would lose the wholesaler too. They don't care. Okay.
Okay.
And then if they ask you about like, how do you, so in the beginning, you just got to get like 5 to 7 quality ones, probably 10. And then when you get down to a deal, those 10 are probably going to be cut down to 4 or 5 because some of them aren't going to have the money. Some of them are going to freak out on an assignment or contract. And when you press them for that type of deal, that's what people do. So set up like a 10 soft ones pending, get rid of the word wholesaling. And, I wouldn't go crazy on the proof of funds because I got to be honest with you, I couldn't give a proof of funds to someone that wasn't showing me a deal. What's the point? Like then I'm gonna give you all my personal information. I got nothing on you. So there has to be an exchange for proof of funds, guys. Like I agree. I'm not going to show you my bank account if you're not going to show me any type of product or inventory. So, so the word wholesaling, don't worry about that. Like nobody cares. People do not care if we're called wholesalers or not. You can be a cash buyer. You can be, I get deeply discounted properties. If they ask you how, I go, I spend money. I go out and knock on doors and I talk to people. Okay. And then basically using the word pending. I got a couple deals pending. I'm just trying to dial in the right number. That's why I'm reaching out to people today. I would love to share with you. I just got to get some basic information. And remember, someone's got to take a shot on you. Like one of my first cash buyers, I told him I didn't have a damn thing. And the guy wound up buying like 62 properties from me. God rest his soul. He's passed away since then, but like he gave me a shot when nobody else wanted to talk to me. And I'm just telling you, you need that same thing. So just take some of those words out of there and make those little changes. And then, so you'll get 10 cash buyers. So when you get down to a deal, understand you'll have about a 50% fall off because they won't give you a proof of funds or like it won't be their parameters type of deal. So if you're going to do that, just get a little bit more. And I don't like a ton of quantity in cash buyers, but if you don't have any, you got to start somewhere.
Okay.
Okay. And smile when you talk to them.
All right.
Dude, you gotta like make this fun because this job can get boring. So just like connect with people, have fun, man. Go listen, just and then try to find out like so for the first time in a long time, you guys got to like spend a little more time with cash buyers and say, listen, what are you seeing? What are you looking for? Like what's the perfect neighborhood for you? What are the price points you want? Do you like them kind of ready to go? Do you do lipstick on them? Or are you looking for full rehab? So just have a conversation with them. And the ones that'll connect, you'll figure it out. I promise you down the road, you won't have to work this hard, but like in the next year, you might as well figure it out now. Because honestly, if you can survive in this market, you'll make it in any. Got it?
Yep. So I got another question for you as well. So
Shoot.
I was calling to some title companies, and I found one that fit like all the criteria that you went through in free wholesaling.
Okay.
When I asked her if she does title exceptions, she told me to give an example, and I didn't really know how to like explain that to her.
Okay. So like first thing, just so you know, I wouldn't get into title exceptions. Title exceptions is like the rare thing that happens in our business. So a title exception would be like if somebody had a code violation, the grass is too high, got mowed. Your seller wants to sell it like next week and you have a cash buyer, it's ready to go. Obviously, so what the seller usually does, if there's like a $500 code violation, you can take $500 and put it in escrow until the title company and the new buyer works it out, which is what we commonly do. And then what they do is they write like an exception for it. Worst case scenario, worst case scenario, that $500 settles the title defect. Or the other way you can do it is not put the $500 money in the escrow, and you can do what they call a title exception. Meaning that they go, we insure everything except this code violation. And if it ever comes back to us, we're not going to honor it, and like end of story. So I'm going to be honest with you, there's very few things you write around on the title, and they're almost 95% of them are due to code violation issues. There's stupid, tiny little stuff that shouldn't stop a transaction. So you got to be like, title companies freak out when they have to write around it because they get nervous. So it'd be like you buying a car and go, listen, I'm just going to take it with that dent in there and I'm going to sign off on it. But you can't come back and cry about that dent because I've already discounted it for you. And that's what you're asking the title company. It's no big deal. When it gets down to a pinch, you can ask them for it. But asking up front, they get nervous. They're like, what are you up to? What kind of crap are you going to bring into my office? So the only time we do title exceptions is when we need speed, and it's minor. If it's major, you have to deal with it anyway. So to be honest with you, I would just kind of lose that part of it. So what's the main thing you want to share with the title company? Make sure they're okay with you. What do you think freaks most title companies out?
The contracts.
Yeah, it's the assignment contract freaks most of them out. They're like, so if you use a traditional title company that's used to working with 95% realtors, and you come in and do all these assignments, they get freaked out. They get, I don't know what to do. Remember, most title companies, I know I'm stereotyping here, but just so you guys know, I do this for an education. Most title companies are young girls in their 20s and 30s, and they don't like resistance. Okay. So when you come in and don't do what they normally do, you freak them out. Do you know most title companies, they assume the closing date is on the day of the expiration of the contract. I do not play by any of those rules. I want to close the stuff as soon as I possibly can. So the problem is if you get into a stereotypical realtor title company, they're going to treat you just like regular realtors do. Everything's like a 2-week wait. Most title companies freak out if you got to do anything less than 30 days. My title company, I can put it under contract and close by Thursday, as long as nothing comes back on the title. I might pay a little bit more, but I know they'll get it done for me. And that's all you want to get from them. So ask them about an assignment of contract. Do you guys do assignment of contract? And just see how they respond to you. Typically, that's going to tell you if they're going to do business. If I had to ask a title company one question, it'd be like, do you deal with assignment of contract? And just let them answer it for you. And they're going to go, yes, but we have to have full disclosure, all that. Most of the time in title companies, the ones that blow up your deal is because they have policies and disclosures that has nothing to do with the legality of the contract. So my title company, they could care less. They're like, they'll write in, they don't care. I've had a title company once, I was making a simple, I don't know, $30,000 assignment fee. They went so far out of their way to tell the seller I was making 30 grand, the seller started to freak out. I go, remember, Mr. Seller, I told you I do this for a profit, and this is why I'm doing it. And you said, I don't care if you make $1 million. I'm not making $1 million. I'm making $29,000. Why is this a problem now? Because you're getting your full $100,000. Well, my neighbor, the realtor, said you're ripping me off. John, how much did you ask for the house? $100,000. How much did I pay you? $100,000. How did I rip you off?
Right.
No big deal, John. Do you want me just to pay fully for it and do that? And that's fine. You can pay I'm not going to pay your closing costs if I do that. You want to do that, it's going to cost you an extra $2,500. So at the end, I got it done. But the problem is I used somebody else's title company, and that they created a 2-hour like shit storm for me. Sorry for the language, but title companies, if you had one question, guys, just ask them, do you deal with an assignment of contract? And if they give you a long-winded answer, it's probably not going to be a good fit. Okay. How long, if I give you a title, how long before I could close it on a cash deal? And just see what they say. If they go, listen, our standard is 30 days, it's probably not going to go well. So honestly, I'm going to cash contract. If they can't get it done in 2 weeks, they're probably not getting it done in 30 days. It just means they're busy. So most title companies line up the contracts. And so if I wrote a contract today and said the expiration is December 7th, they won't even touch the file till like the end of November. So I want them running that title and then letting me know in a day or two if there's any issues. Make sense?
Yeah.
So simplify. Don't freak them out like writing exception to the title. When it comes down to it, you can talk to them about it, and that's an option you need to do, and then it's no big deal.
Okay. Well, that's all I had, and I finally got the code violations too from my city. It took me like 6 tries, but
persistence. That's what you need.
Yeah,
that's the deal, dude. You got it. Just like keep going, man. So with the title company, you just got to get the warm fuzzies for them, because man, I tell you, in the beginning, a title company is probably your most important ally other than you, because boy, they can kill a deal quick. So there's nothing worse than getting a great deal and then giving it a title company and have them blow it up. So a title company can screw it up to where you have to fund it. And when you have to fund it, even though you're making money, it can cost you $3,000 or $4,000 extra. I don't know about you, dude, but could you use an extra $3,000 or $4,000? I know we all could. So don't give it away. So preempt it before it goes and have that conversation. And by the way, title companies, if you forge a relationship, figure out what their fees and all that other stuff, it's fun. But do you know 95% of people have no idea what a title company does, what their fees are, or how any of it works? You have to break it down and figure it out. It's not far. What state are you in?
Michigan.
Yeah. So you've got to really understand do you have to use an attorney to close here? What are the customary fees? And once you understand that, because your sellers are going to ask you all these questions, so go get educated by a title company. They'll help you out. They'll all help you out for free, by the way. If they don't help you out for free, use another title company.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
You got this, man. Just keep collecting lists, keep doing what you're doing. And then now you got a little bit of a strategy to talk to your cash buyers. You're just going to change some of the wording. So you're going to do a little higher volume, understanding like, okay, I got to have something to start. It's better than getting a deal and starting from zero, in my opinion. So you might as well line up 10. If only half of them are good, which is the probability, then you can do that and you can move forward. Remember, you're always making progress every day. You just got to keep picking away at it. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome, man. I'll see you.
All right.
So guys, before I mention it to it, if there is anybody out there who really enjoys like being on the phones and stuff like that, I'm going to have an upcoming opportunity in my company to run one of my call centers. So if you have experience or you just like doing that and you want to earn some extra money and you're really good, you will not work for me or Zach. You'll work for one of our employees, but it is an opportunity. Send me an email at support@flipwithrick.com and then put in the top description phones, just all capital phones, and I will move those into a folder and I'll take a look at them. But it is a great opportunity. We do deals all over the country. We obviously work with you guys, and we have an opportunity really to have a lot of fun with this. So why not look for somebody in our community that wants to work with me? So if you want to do that, remember, you're not working with me directly. This is an employment relationship, but it's all virtual, and you guys know exactly what we do. So if you understand MCTP and you like to answer phones, give me a holler at support@flipwithrick.com. Put phones in the captions. And guys, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, Rick Ginn. I'm releasing like ridiculous amounts of information there, and I'm really going to build it up. And also, if you guys want to connect with my son, he has his own channel at Zach Ginn. And then we collaborate on Flip with Rick. Zach will be on tomorrow. I believe he's doing cold calling live. You guys love it. And we're probably going to do a live stream together on Wednesday a little bit earlier because we have a hurricane coming, and every time the wind blows above 50 miles an hour, I lose power for about a day or two. But we'll figure it out. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. We're used to windy stuff here in the state of Florida. So guys, make sure you guys go out and vote. You let people know what you want, and just go out and vote. Let people know. Check me out on YouTube. Guys, Zach will talk to you tomorrow. I'll probably be on Wednesday, and weather pending on Thursday. So that's it, guys. Make sure you smash that like button. You hit that subscribe button. This is Rick